In today's video, we are saying goodbye to my F80 M3. Hey, it's Bryan. Thanks for watching Kies Motorsports. If you like our videos, give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at KiesMotorsports.com. That is right. Today we are saying goodbye to my Ferrari red F80 M3. Well, technically it's tomorrow, but we need to do some things to get the car ready for where it's going, which are going to include swapping out the fuel. We have to put the stock exhaust back on, stock diffuser, and a couple other things. So with that, let's get started. All right, and there it is all on the lift. We have our Ferrari red F80 M3 with these amazing variant wheels and amazing tires that have no traction in this weather. The first thing we're going to do today is we are going to take off my exhaust. Now, as many of you know, I have factory M4 GTS exhaust on this thing, and it sounds insane. Just to show you, let's start it up real quick. So as you just heard, this thing roars like thunder and it sounds amazing. So it's gonna be a little bit weird driving around for a day with stock exhaust again. All right, let's take one more look at that M4 GTS exhaust. Now, one of the most notable things about this is that he has the tips that are welded on, as you can see right here. You can't see, you can see when we take it off, but it has an M etched into the tip as well. And besides that, the big thing is it doesn't have a second resonator, it just has this little H pipe like this. I think the M Performance exhaust has something similar. And then it has the two cats and everything. And yeah, so really the big difference is the muffler is a different shape, size, and also sounds different. It has this H pipe instead of a resonator, and then also the tips are welded on. But I don't know, there's something about this exhaust, sounds incredible. So while we have the car on the lift, I just want to show you something that I found really interesting. So as many of you know, I have a Mishimoto oil cooler and I love it. I think it does a great job. And when I did that, I did this Turner Motorsports skid plate under here, which is made of aluminum instead of plastic. Well, if you look at my bumper here, you'll notice that the other day I was going up a driveway and it turned out to be steeper than I thought. So my lip is actually kind of separated and it looks terrible right now. But also when you look here, you'll notice that I cracked all of the powder coating, and up here there's a really big dent. So I am super glad that I had this on the car. Look, it cracked it all along here. Super glad that I had this, because if I had that factory plastic one, I will bet that my oil cooler, whether it was my Mishi or my OEM, would have been completely destroyed. So look at that, it was like, I don't know, I forget how much these are, 300 bucks or so, 400 bucks. But look, one hit completely saved me. I would have drained out all my oil and could have had way bigger problems. All right, so now Andrew's gonna help me drop the old M4 GTS exhaust off, and we're going to put back my stock F80 M3 exhaust. So as you can see, Andrew single-handedly pulled down that exhaust, and now we just have a gaping hole. Now it's always very important to make sure that you change out your gaskets here. There's one right here, one right here. Even if you use them once, I always just recommend changing them out, because you don't want to have an exhaust leak right there, because you basically have to pull down the whole thing just to get to it if you have the issue. Kind of pain in the butt, so just prevent it from ever happening. Looks like we have a little leak here, but you know, we'll talk about that another day. All right, so while we're over here, you will notice that we have an Akrapovic diffuser. I don't think we ever told you that we did. We actually did this for MPAC. We were in the CSF booth, realized we didn't have any mods, so we overnighted this diffuser. I think it looks incredible, but because of where the car is going, we need to have the factory one on. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take the diffuser off. Andrew had requested that we start the car without exhaust, so in his honor, we're going to start the car with just a downpipe, no exhaust at all. All right, so as you can see, we have our stock exhaust on, and I want to say it looks great with our factory diffuser, but it doesn't. So it's just something we had to do, and you'll understand more in a little bit. I just need to do one other thing, and I'm gonna lower the car back down and then pull it out, and we will swap the fuel and switch the tune. One thing I do want to say is I haven't forgotten about the Bilstein B16 coilover video. I just haven't had time to do it, and now we're not gonna have the car. So we'll have to wait a little while for that. Here's the short version. They're great, but keep in mind that your Sport Plus mode is now going to be like your comfort mode, and then it gets even firmer from there. So if you are using your car as a family car, you might not want to do it, but if you just drive your car by yourself, or you don't really care what anybody else thinks, it's definitely a great addition. My wife, I don't think she really likes it because it rides pretty rough, but it's been like this for so long, it's like, I don't know, it is what it is. But she doesn't really ride in this car because she has her own car she rides in. She likes her SUV. But anyway, great suspension. Now let's start it up with stock exhaust. All right, so now that the exhaust is all squared away, I need to get a lot of this E85 out of the tank. Now, if you try to siphon BMW gas, it doesn't normally work. There's normally this little anti-siphon thing. I don't really know how to explain it. Basically, it prevents you from siphoning your gas, so you shouldn't have to really worry about that. So the way that I'm gonna do it, I'm going to try to go in through where the low pressure fuel pump is. So I have this little tool from Precision Racewerks. I'm gonna put that in, pop it out. I'm gonna try to get some of this E85 out. Alright, welcome back to tomorrow. So as I said, I was doing some prep yesterday for today's trip, which you're gonna find out where we're going in just a minute. So we have Ferrari red outside, we have John's built F80 inside, and let's hit the road. Alright, right now I'm about 5 minutes away from our destination, which is AWE. That is right, we are getting an AWE exhaust for this car. And you may be thinking, kind of excessive, why are you driving there and dropping off your car to get an exhaust on? Why don't you just install it yourself? Well, here's what's actually happening. So I'm going to give them the keys to my car for about a month or so, and they are going to completely redesign their S55 exhaust using this car as the model. Since we have stock downpipes on, we have some, we put the stock exhaust back on. That's why I had to put the stock diffuser back on, just for pictures and things like that. Also because it's at Akrapovic, and I don't think they would like that. As many of you know, many of you probably don't know, but a lot of times you go to buy parts for your car and it says for off-road and racing use only. Well, in the government's eyes, it doesn't really mean anything. Because the RPM Act hasn't been passed, and that's an act that allows you to actually legally have a race car, it doesn't really mean anything. So basically, the way that the government sees race cars right now are cars that were built from the ground up and never had a VIN number. If your car had a VIN number, it's technically not legal to do any exhaust modifications that tamper with catalytic converter and that kind of stuff. And there's some pretty big fines out there for companies who are making, you know, these catalytic products and things like that. So that being said, they are going for an EPA compliant exhaust, which I'm excited for because I don't want to get pulled over for something stupid and have my car impounded, or in California get refereed and all that. You know, just because my exhaust wasn't street legal. So this way, it's gonna be a great solution. It's gonna be street legal, and knowing AWE and all the other AWE exhausts we've ever installed, it's gonna sound unbelievable. So I can't wait. All right, we have arrived. Look at this, they have snow. We have no snow out where we are. They're like an hour and a half away from me. All right, so as you can see, we made it to AWE. I'm just gonna get some things out of the car, and then we're gonna come back and see how it sounds and what they came up with. So once again, my name is Bryan. Be sure to stay tuned for that video because it's going to be amazing. I already have a little sneak peek on what's going on, and I can't wait. If you like today's video, give us a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe, and check us out at KiesMotorsports.com. And for any AWE parts, be sure to see the links in the description. My name is Bryan. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.